wind up with orders, and every order must have come from a valid store, and it must have come from a valid salesperson, and it must include an order for a valid CD. Okay, so we're going to wind up with 4 tables and these relationships. Everybody with me on that? I think that's, compared to Kate, that's pretty basic. Okay. And then we're going to just create a very simple ASPX page. We'll have a trivial master page, so they all look the same. And then we'll create a home page, which is technically default.aspx, that says welcome, displays the page menu, and then we'll add more pages to this later. So eventually we'll add more pages to this project. So this is the code you would use in the master page to basically create a menu. All right, so we'll have a home page, a details page, and an admin page eventually. And so we'll have a form so the user can enter a new CD, and therefore they should be able to enter the CD, artist, record company, year release, list price, then add a new record to the CD table. Now see, why this table is going to be considerably more, this database is going to be considerably more complicated than either the pig data or the Mongo data. Did we use Mongo or CD? Yeah, we used Mongo, didn't we? Yeah, Mongo. Was because that had just the raw purchase information, right? This one is going to have all the zip codes, and it's going to have, well, what does that zip code mean? Oh, it's a city name. And then, like when we have an ID for a CD, we're going to have information for the name, the artist, blah, 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 right? And this is why you really want to stick with my names, because I will eventually give you scripts that will populate this database, so you don't have to enter all that information. So when we're done, you'll be able to ask things like, you should be able to query and say, if it's the Beatles, what discs are available from the Beatles? And it would search by title in this field, and then you could say, how much of this do we have in stock? And it should be able to go out to all the store inventory tables and pull it all back in again.
Millions, because nobody buys CDs.
So we want to have a form. One form is to enter a new CD. And one of the main reasons we're doing this is just to verify that our database is ready, so that when we do an import, it's really going to work, and that our referential integrity is set up correctly. And then we're going to have another one so you can add a store with that information. And then we're going to have another one so you can have a salesperson, and this is what we're going to keep track of by the salespeople. And this should be a drop-down list so that you can't make up a name. The only name you can enter has to be somebody that really is a salesperson. And then, now that you have all those tables defined, you could enter an order, and the order will be checked to make sure that there really is a CD, there really is a salesperson, there really is a store. And so this one should have a drop-down with stores, a drop-down with salespeople, and a drop-down with CDs. We'll create the time ourselves, and then make up 5 orders. Okay? So that's what I want you to do. You can sit here and continue to work on it, ask for help, or you can go ahead and start working on it, ask for help. I'm not going to consider this, quote, homework. And one of the side effects of that is I will give you all the help you need. Just ask me if you're stuck, and I'll tell you exactly how to code it. And then by the end of Thursday, by the end of Thursday's class, I want to make sure everybody has a working copy of this so that we can then progress on to the next stage of the course. Okay?
So we need to do according to the PowerPoint, like how it says use for 3 forms and everything, so we need to put all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we're really doing is we're building up a database that has referential integrity built in amongst 4 tables. The fields in the tables are defined in these forms. They're also, if you go back to the very first PowerPoint in the course where we talked about it, it has the source data that I actually used to create those forms. Like there's only, I don't know what there is, 6 zip codes and 10 records we're going to deal with and 24 salespeople. They're all known. They're all in that original PowerPoint. But you won't need that data per se here, because I'm just suggesting you enter a few pieces of data to verify it works. Okay. So, and as I said, that other program is just sitting there. That's not what I want. I want this simple ASP example. That has pretty much everything you're going to need in it. If you can't remember from thinking 117. Okay?
Can we build a JavaScript client? Does it have to be ASP form?
First class we asked why you would want to do that? Because you know JavaScript, so don't know ASP.
Well, I'd have to write all C#.
Yeah, you really want to do that because we're going to be doing more and more stuff, and you'll get further and further away, further and further lost.
The other example is that, so we can.
Okay, I think I'll sit there and start playing with it and see what I can do.
So this is outside the virtual machine now.
Do we need SQL Server or Flash?
Yes.
Or
You not only need SQL Server, you need a full version that has integration services and analysis services. You're doing BI.
we can get that on Dreamspan.
Yes. But whatever you do, folks, whatever you ever do, never install SQL into a system that already has SQL. I've had more fits with that. If you have SQL Express and you want to put the real one in, to the best of your ability, remove SQL Express first. It's possible to have them both, but what happens is the auto startups that SQL puts into your startup files get all confused, and you wind up with, it looks like you have no instance and you actually have 2, neither one of them is started.
I think the web installer checks for you now. At least I tried to do it the reverse way. Like I already had SQL and I tried to install Express, and it's like you can't do that. You have to.
Oh, that's good.
uninstall. I think that's something new that Windows 10 has started.
That's good.
I've installed several versions of SQL, and doing the updates and
Yeah.
or grabbing a new one, but then check. And it wound up by doing some really weird things.
Was this on Windows 8 or Windows 10?
8.
So it
It's on my
it must be
machine.
a Windows 10 thing.
Well,
They do the same thing with Office. Like if I tried to install your version of Office,
Yeah,
that's
I'll be here.
the problem is it did it, and then it would intertwine critical things. So if I tried to uninstall one thing, it would break all the others.
You want to help with this?
It says ASP.
She's got it, yeah. But if she needs help, she'll show you.
I guess you have to show me again.
So when I take order,
Okay.
when I tell them
So it's still on.
Yeah, it's
So-
still recording.
Okay, which button records? And where's the pause?
Pause is here on the side.
This one?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then that's the power button.
I'm gonna show you this code I made it with. It's just so beautiful. I have no one that I can show it to appreciate it. I like went to my roommates. I'm like, I just wrote the most awesome thing, and they're like, we don't care. I hate you guys so much. I don't speak tech.
They're not programmers themselves?
No. Teacher and like a youth.
So I wrote a Windows Series application too.
So, you see, it's just, when I run it, it just sends me keyboards and that. Keeps on. Yeah.
420 store data. Is that your drug reference there, Kurt?
I think it's way on the phone.
So when you start up a new webs form project,
It's so logic.
you really want to come over here and say, change authentication, and say, no authentication. Otherwise, it throws in a whole bunch of junk information. And then there's this other button to click for Microsoft Azure. Unclick that, otherwise it'll make you answer a bunch of silly questions.
So this is one. So when you click, when you call it to this backwards, this is the way it's
You said change authentication.
Yeah, go to change and say you don't want any.
so this is right.
And we don't, do we want to select web API too or no?
No.
Tries to run this.
It's a web form, not a MVC. Or is it web API? Which one?
Wow, I just want MVC. Oh no, I think did you select MVC or web form?
Web form. Donald Trump is one. Indiana, decisive win for Trump in Indiana.
So it keeps making calls to add a worker. So it's always doing that. Where is random? Go back to where random order is called. Make sure that none is set.
So
to
when you
something.
start one of these things, you already have a master page.
See what it says. So you can go in here and go to the sources.
It has a contact page, which I'm just gonna delete. We don't need no contact page. And then we have a default page, which will be the home page. So at this point,
If you go to this dot,
you should be able to run it without adding a line of code.
and do
And you'll have a beautiful empty form. Oh, it's probably got a bunch of junk about it.
And then find where you set put a breakpoint.
Yeah.
You run here. Make sure that's getting set, because for some reason the loop just never. Oh, I found the issue. You have a space in between I and I.
There's also an about page, I'm gonna get rid of
Yeah,
that.
there you go. So that could be a problem. Yeah, that's the problem, because it's not incrementing it, and it's just an endless loop. I think, right, see if it works.
No,
Didn't work?
no.
Okay, so put that break point or put a watch on, see if it's incrementing to the, hit it. So you can put a breakpoint within the loop, and then it will just keep running through the loop, and then you can check if it's incrementing properly, and then you can check what num is set to. So just the first line of that.
So if you delete all this junk in the master page, you get rid of the header with all that nonsense. Save this unordered list here. And then these will be pages, these will be our links to pages. So now when I run this.
What did you delete?
It used to have a big banner across the top with a bunch of menu buttons and everything. And
So
now
you-
that I deleted it, it's,
You deleted the head then?
yeah. Not the head, no. It's the banner. When, after this runs, see, now all I have left
Oh.
up here at the top is these three. And I deleted these 2 pages, so it'll fail if I go to them. But later on, I'm gonna replace those with something else. So, let me show you what I did here. I deleted this, which created a nav bar and a bunch of big icons across the top.
Down to class.
And then you have to get rid of these 3 division ends. And then I'm gonna go over to the home page, which is called default. And pretty much, I'm just gonna strip that out to nothing until, there we go. And then maybe I'll put an H3 here just for fun that says hi, so I know I'm on the home page. So there's my beautiful home page. This menu is coming from the master page. And this is coming from the master page too. Right, now I feel like I'm ready to work. So I'm going to create a new page that's going to say, like, new CD. And then I'll create another page that'll say new store, and another page that'll say new salesperson. And I'll come over here. I'll say right click. And I'll say web form with master page.